Hi English students, this is Mrs. Peacock. My name has changed recently because I just got married a couple of weeks ago. So if you're wondering why all of a sudden I went from Miss Newman to Mrs. Peacock, that's why. But let's focus on the poetry essay. So the poetry essay, you're essentially analyzing poems that we've covered in class. And I want to know your interpretation as a reader. What did you get from the poem? What messages do you think the author intended? Let's focus on the literary elements that you saw within the poems. But I really want to know your opinion of these poems. So the rough draft is going to be due Wednesday, April 5th by midnight in discussions for peer review, of course. And then the final draft will be due Wednesday, April 12th by midnight in the week 9 content folder. You will have spring break to work on this as well. So since I'm giving you guys the topics before spring break, you'll still have plenty of extra time to work on this. This paper is worth 20% of your final grade. Essay should be at least 800 words in length, so quite a bit shorter than your research paper, by 200 words actually. Your formatting should be the same as you've done in the past, 12-point Times New Roman font, double space with MLA heading and style. All of that is the exact same as the other essays. But notice this must have a works cited page with the literary works cited. So what I mean by that is whatever poem you write about, there needs to be a citation for that poem on the works cited page. However, I have already done that for you on the second page. So you can literally copy and paste the citation onto your works cited page. So I've done that part for you. You're welcome. So you must have a works cited page with that literary works cited. Notice I also don't want to have any outside sources, and I'll explain why. So I want to know your interpretation of this literature. I don't want to know what a website says about it or some literary guru. I want to know what you think about it. I want your own original ideas about it. I welcome creativity. I welcome different arguments about the literature, but I just want to know what you genuinely think about it versus an expert that's published. I want to know what your own ideas are for it. So no outside sources are allowed on this whatsoever, just your thoughts on the literature. So the only citations that should be on that works cited page would be the literature that's listed on the second page. So I have some topic ideas for you to choose from. Imagery, themes, love, settings, symbolism, nature, and how the author's message is or is not relevant today. So for an example on how you might write a paper like this, if you wanted to focus on symbolism, you could pick 3 symbols within one of the poems and pull the quotes about those symbols and what you believe the items symbolize. So for instance, if it's flowers, how do they symbolize love or life or beauty, depending on whatever your interpretation is of that symbol. So that's one easy way to organize your thoughts. You could choose 3 love poems. There actually are 3 love poems, even though we only covered 4. There's 3 that are obviously about love. You could focus on how they differ on their interpretation of love. You could focus on 3 themes within one work. So for instance, if you're focusing on My Last Duchess, some of the major themes would be jealousy, control, and greed for sure. So the Duke in My Last Duchess is guilty of having all of those attributes to his personality. So those would be 3 major themes within that poem. So you can kind of see what I mean by the organizational principle. You could focus on 3 aspects of one of these literary elements. You could analyze 3 poems. If you want to compare and contrast 2 of the poems, you could. But remember, you will need to break it into 3 body paragraphs. If you need help doing that, just send me an email and I'm happy to help you organize your thoughts. Also, don't forget we have a fantastic writing center with tutors that can help you organize your ideas as well. Notice I've listed the poems that we've covered so far, and it has the page numbers that correspond to your Norton textbook. So if you need help locating those, the page numbers are listed. And as always, there is a final draft late submission rule, so just make sure you turn in that final draft by Wednesday, April 12th by midnight. And as usual, it's going to be graded with the same grading rubric and be checked for plagiarism. So just make sure that your ideas in this paper are your own ideas, and that'll be for the best for everyone. I've got a spot at the bottom for brainstorming and outlining. If you like to write out your ideas before you get started, that's a great spot to do that. So if you ever have any questions, as always, please let me know. I'm happy to guide you through this writing process. I'm just a phone call or email away. So hope you're all well and enjoy spring break. I hope you all get to rest up and enjoy this beautiful weather. Today it's 72 and sunny. So enjoy this lovely weather and have a wonderful break. Thanks. Bye.